treasonous and un-American during the State of the Union address. We begin with what the president's legal team is telling him. CNN's Pamela Brown, Gloria Borger brought us the first details of this last week. Pam joins us now. So Pamela, this New York Times report, which broke about 45 minutes ago, it tracks with what you and Gloria were reporting last week. Seems to sound a more definitive note about the line the president's legal team will draw with the special counsel.
No, well, actually, Anderson, my colleague Gloria Borger and I have been reporting that this is the stance of the president's legal team. A week ago, we reported that they believe that Robert Mueller hasn't met the threshold to interview the president. They don't want the president to sit down with Robert Mueller and his team because, as Ty Cobb, the president's lawyer, has said on the record, he believes it's a perjury trap, and they want to prevent this from happening. They want to prevent any type of fishing expedition. The sources that we've spoken to have said that, first of all, they believe that the president shouldn't be treated like anyone else, and second of all, they believe that Robert Mueller's team hasn't shown the evidence, the proof, that they have to sit down to talk to the president to understand his state of mind. The president's legal team argues that they've handed over all of the documents, that they see exactly what Robert Mueller's team sees for the most part, and that they see no reason for them to have to sit down with the president. Now, that may not sit well with Robert Mueller, but as you know, Anderson, the president has been very public saying that he wants to sit down with Robert Mueller's team, that he would be happy to do it under oath. But we can tell you behind the scenes, Anderson, his lawyers have been saying that not so fast, that likely is not a good idea. As one source close to the president's legal team told me tonight, he is not testifying. So that really is the stance among the president's legal team.
Is there any sense of the timeline of this? I mean, when all this is expected to reach a boiling point? Obviously, Robert Mueller is not going to wait around forever for an interview with the president. Have you heard anything in the West Wing about when this will come to a head?
Well, it's interesting because with the president's lawyers now seemingly digging in their heels to not allow their client, the president, to do an interview with Robert Mueller, of course it raises the question, will Robert Mueller issue a subpoena and try to compel a testimony from the president? That is well within Robert Mueller's right. Now, sources I've spoken with doubt that he would go that far, but it's certainly possible, Anderson, and then it could end up in court. That is something that the president's legal team does not want to see happen. You've heard the president say that he wants this wrapped up sooner rather than later. So it's sort of unclear where this will go from here because Robert Mueller has made it clear to the president's legal team he wants to do a sit-down interview with the president, but the legal team has said, no, we're not going to let you do it. You haven't met the threshold.
And the president did always have the caveat, well, you know, I'm listening to the advice of my attorneys.
Yeah, exactly. And so at the time, you know, our thinking was that the president has some cover. He can come out and say whatever he wants, that he wants to sit down with Robert Mueller to show that he has nothing to hide. But of course, ultimately, as you said, he had the caveat that he would listen to his lawyers who behind the scenes have been telling him for weeks, Anderson, that he should not talk to Robert Mueller's team or testify because it will be a perjury trap in their view.
Yeah, thanks very much. I want to start the conversation.